Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Geek with me for the first time in about a month. Our last episode was The Force Awakens live comm the day after Christmas, so tomorrow will be a month, I suppose. But, man, it's good to be back. Good to be back on Geek with me. I'm Colton Robertson. I'm joined by Joseph George. What's up, buddy?
Oh, what up, what up? Always a pleasure to be here.
Oh, and it's always a pleasure to have you. For those who have stuck with us through the nearly 7-year history of the show, I'm sure there's just hundreds of thousands of you. We thank you. Thanks for coming on back as soon as we dropped an episode. That's very real of you. We're kind of returning to if you'll remember this era for us, a dispatch format. Back when we were still the Penny Bloom podcast and we were trying to find our footing again. We did the Penny Bloom Dispatch, and we kind of did a segment-based show. We're going to do a similar thing, but obviously with a narrow lens, given the Geek With Me title. So today we are going to talk some pop culture stuff. We're going to talk A Night of the Seven Kingdoms' premiere. We're going to talk the Maul trailer and the shuffling around of the order over at Lucasfilm, so a little Star Wars discussion. And then we're going to top it off with something that might be more fit for the Sentimentalists, our movie podcast, but, you know, we don't have time for it over there. We're gonna talk about it somehow. We're gonna do it here. The 2026 Oscar nominations. So very, very excited for that. Let's kick it off with A Night of the Seven Kingdoms. New thrones out and about. Something that we are going to be trying to cover week by week. Again, probably more in this format as opposed to our regular, scene by scene, episode by episode format, but we are going to try to keep up with it as regularly as we can. Obviously, this is a weird one because the premiere was a week ago and the next episode is tonight. That will not be the normal case for us release structure-wise. It just happened to work out this way. Night of the Seven Kingdoms premiered a week ago. How'd you feel about it?
Yeah, I think definitely a different flavor for the universe now. I think the original run and House of the Dragon, I think, are pretty similar, just in tone, and they're very, very prestige television. I think this is still, like cinematically, it still kind of fits the universe. I don't know, things are looking sort of good still, but I think we are very, very much more lighter in tone. It seems cute, actually, which is never a word I would really use to describe Thrones before. And I see the potential of it, of bad things happening, and
it's still Game of Thrones. It's still Game of Thrones. There's still gonna be stuff that tears us asunder, I'm sure. But at 6 episodes on the season, at 1 episode deep, it's a nice slow start. I appreciate kind of dipping our toe in the water, like the episode ends, and I'm like, cool. Yeah, we're off to a good start, It's funny, and not in the way that Thrones was typically funny. Like, Thrones humor was always a little bit like, like dark and a little strange, and this obviously still has a little bit of that flavor, but there were a couple moments where I did genuinely laugh out loud in a way that Thrones didn't really make me. I really appreciate
literally shitting next to a tree. I mean, we literally saw him full on shit, and
full poop flying out of an ass. I was like, well, right. You're certainly making your case for originality here. Obviously, we never did see that in such a manner on Game of Thrones or House of the Dragon. We did get the infamous poop loop in season 7 with Samwell Tarly cleaning out bedpans, but we did not ever get to. We were never privy to shit flying out of asses. Not something that I had ever seen. Period. Yeah. I don't think.
And at this height, is this normal height to shit at? I feel like we this do is a pretty high squat. I mean,
he's also a pretty tall guy. He's a pretty tall guy. Squatting all the way down is probably not super comfortable for him. And credit to the actor here. He does a really, really good job. I thought he was charming as our dumb dunce of a big guy.
He's just making his way through the universe, I guess we, say the stories he's telling up of so
Sir
I'm such a knight, and sir the journeys I've been on are so great. Like whoever his that he got knighted from this dude who he's learned everything from. Doesn't really
clearly
seem like the traditional knight that we know. He's no Sir Barristan. That's for sure. But I think we do the heart of Dunk. Dunk's heart. He truly has the heart of a knight.
Sir Arlen of Pennytree was who knighted him. The gentleman he was a squire to.
Okay.
Wow. But yeah, Peter Claffrey playing Sir Dunk is really good. I enjoy his portrayal so far. I'm a big fan of Daniel Ings, the gentleman who plays Lionel Baratheon.
He was fun.
I love that actor. I fell in love with him in a show called Lovesick. He's really good in it. It's a Netflix original British comedy show that is just so fucking funny and very romantic and obviously straight up my alley. He's been in a ton of stuff since then. He was actually, movie-wise, I believe he was in...
he might have been.
He was in the Marvels. Yes, that was what I was going to go to. He was the sidekick to the main villain of that movie. He was kind of the yes man, the secretary figure, assistant type beat. But yeah, I liked him a lot as Lionel. And there's this little, coming in this season. I don't know if you watched that at the end of the episode after the credits and everything. But it appears that he will be making more than one appearance also. Like this isn't the extent of his presence in the show, which is good because I really liked the chemistry he had with Dunk particularly. I like that there's this kind of, he doesn't respect him, but he likes him. And there's something kind of charming about that.
Yeah. What are you doing in here, man? He's like, I was just eating food. He's like, are you fucking for real? He's like, you didn't bring me anything. Like, I think he was like actually kind of taken back at first, but then he's like, oh, this dude's actually just pure innocent. Like this
guy doesn't know shit. Like, I kind of fuck with that. Yeah. It's very funny. And I love that about the show so far. I loved the dancing sequence. And I love Egg. I love the chemistry that Egg and Dunk have. I think that's obviously setting us up for something that'll be very enjoyable to watch. The new squire, who is obviously a Targaryen child.
Why be bald? We don't see that hair.
And he says he's from King's Landing, and he's like, if you want to take me home, you got to take me to King's Landing. You're from you're
Flea
from
Bottom.
Flea Bottom. He's like, no, I'm not.
Actually,
so Egg. This kid's name is Aegon.
Egg. Is this a timeline wise? Because
this is 100 years. Aegon. Yeah, this is 100 years before Game of Thrones. 100 years after House of the Dragon. So this is way after that Aegon, the original Aegon, the Conqueror.
Yes. Yeah. But this, because I know, is Aegon the Dreamer the same as the Conqueror, or is that a different Aegon? I feel like there is a Dreamer, or one that had something to do with dreaming. I feel like maybe that's a book
Aegon's dream that Viserys routinely references is Aegon the Conqueror's.
That's true. That's just the dream, not Aegon the Dreamer. I feel like I don't know why I remember one of them being called. Well, no, I think Viserys just kind of called him the Dreamer.
Yeah, kind of reveres him for that more than his conquering. But he's and that's the thing is like I'm all the way back in already. Like I House of the Dragon season 2, a lot of people were pretty hard on it. I thought it was great. I love the character work. I know that we don't make a ton of ground up narratively. Like we end season 2 roughly in the same spot in the grand scheme of things as we did in season 1, but I felt like we did a lot of personal work for all of the characters and I got a lot out of it. But it did end, and I kind of just put it behind me, and that was that. And then this came out. Didn't even know it was coming out. Like that night, people are on my timeline talking about, oh, there's a new Thrones. I'm like, what the fuck are we talking about? Like I saw someone tweet, I'm watching A Night of the Seven Kingdoms, and I know Game of Thrones so well that I was like, oh, he's watching season 8, episode 2. Which is titled A Night of the Seven Kingdoms.
Damn. I'm still not even at that level yet.
No, I mean, like, and the later seasons are easier just because there's so few of them.
Yeah.
And I couldn't tell you them off the top of my head, but I read it and was like, that's an episode in season 8. That must be what he's watching. And then like later I saw more stuff and I was like, oh shit. When is A Night of the Seven Kingdoms supposed to come out? Wait a second. And it was that night. So that's also why our coverage of it here is quite impromptu. We did not plan at all for it. We are going to be covering it, of course, because it is Thrones, and we've never not covered an episode of Thrones, literally. We have every single Thrones episode covered. If you look in our backlog, it's all there.
Detail,
all 8
every
seasons,
detail every scene.
all of them. Yeah, this is going to be the most lacking as far
True.
as detail. The coverage of A Night of the Seven Kingdoms, but it's still going to be here. We owe it to ourselves, really, to maintain that sense of completionism. I love having covered all of it, and I intend to cover every bit of it that I can. I love Egg and Dunk and Egg, if you will. Their chemistry is really fun. It was a fun start, and I look forward to actually getting into it. Going to King's Landing, doing this tournament, doing all this stuff. I think we will get there inevitably, as it is. It's a TV show. We have to reach the place. But
is the tournament, you think, the big crux, or do you think we get there relatively fast and like it's like next episode we're already
I'd bet that's pretty soon. I'd bet it's within the first 3 episodes. I don't think that's like the culmination of the show. I think it's probably I wonder how much his relationship with Lionel ends up benefiting him. I wonder if Lionel ends up, kind of becoming a benefactor of sorts, and like maybe he loses, but Lionel buys his shit back for him, and maybe there's something there. Maybe Egg ends up being some sort of important character that someone else knows of, and they want to protect him, but they want to keep it from Dunk. And, there's so many different avenues they can go down. Another important thing to note about, for the listener here, about me and Joe, is that while we have read A Song of Ice and Fire, we have never read all of A Song of Ice and Fire. I've never read Dunk and Egg. I've never read Fire and Blood. I've only read 3 of the Song of Ice and Fire books. I think I read through Game of Thrones, Clash of Kings. I can't even remember what the third one is, but I think I've read the third one. Feast for Crows.
Feast. Yeah, there's a Feast of Crows. Feast
of Crows.
Yeah, Feast of.
I think that's the third one.
And then Dance of Dragons.
There's what's the other one? Because there's only 5 right now.
Oh man.
Game of Thrones, Clash of Kings, Feast of Crows, Dance of Dragons. Fuck.
I need to. Storm of Swords.
Storm of Swords. That's the third one.
That's. I guess is that Wait, Game of Thrones, Clash of Kings. Yeah, Game of Thrones, Clash of Kings, A Storm of Swords, A Feast for Crows, and
I was going to say Storm of Swords is the third one because that's the other one I've read. So that's funny that I couldn't remember it. I know Winds of Winter better than I know any of those because we will never get it.
Yep. But or It's the Day He Dies. I swear.
GRRM, my boy. Yeah, no, I can't blame him. Fuck it, man. You've done enough. You've done enough. Call it. You're done.
The Day He Dies, if that book doesn't release, then I'll finally go ahead and read them all. And then if it does release, then I'll go ahead and read them all and then finally get the last one.
Either way, you're just reading it all. You're just reading it all when it's all done. When it's all over and there's no chance.
I'm waiting for that day. But yeah, my book knowledge isn't as great. So is Duncan like referred to anywhere in, because I feel like there might have been, they were in the room that has that book that is like all of the
that's all
nights,
the Lord Commanders of the Night's Watch, not Night's Watch, City Watch. No.
Yes.
Kingsguard.
Kingsguard. There it is. Yes.
Yeah, it was the Kingsguard.
Is he mentioned, or I wonder if they flipped the page and he's like,
yeah, I don't know.
There.
I don't recall. I've always heard of Sir Duncan the Tall, but again, I don't know if that's because of context within the shows or because there is a book about Sir Duncan the Tall, and therefore it's just always been something that's floated around. I imagine, given that there is a story directly involving him, and it is one that was worth telling in George R.R. Martin's mind, that he will rise to certain heights. Now we'll see how high that is. But
it's pretty natural for him to just the Aegon secret to come out somehow, and then like everyone wants to kill Aeg or capture him, whatever, and it's like, no, none of you. It's a kid, He's just the protector of sorts. Because Aeg, I don't think can offer as too much combat.
Physically,
if like
no.
Yeah,
it's a little guy. It's a real little guy.
So in the tournament, I don't think he's going to be like, all right, I'm stepping in. It's the Squire bat, and maybe, who knows? Maybe we do get a Squire v Squire, and he does have some skill. I don't know. But I'm not.
I feel like he could throw around a flail. I feel like he could get down with a flail.
A mean nunchuck. He's just a bald kid too. I don't know why. They just look wise. Like it's just like the ancient one.
He looks like a monk.
I don't know.
Yeah. He looks like a monk.
You're just the Avatar. You're Aang.
Yeah, that's
to me,
Aang
kind of
there.
Right now.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think that seems like the only thing I can really see this go. The tournament, I don't think will go 100% well for Duncan. I think he'll probably net gain for sure. He's on, in the eyes of a Baratheon and I don't know who else eventually, but I think the real crux of the story, I feel like that seems to be a Aeg and his secret getting out.
Yeah, and definitely their relationship obviously getting developed, and I love them looking up at the stars, and like all it's very, very sweet, and I like it. I'm immediately quite in. I think that it's got a lot of potential. I've always been prone to give everything Thrones the benefit of the doubt. I know that season 8 kind of destroyed everybody's perception of it. But I don't know. I think that the track record stands too strong. If you consider season 7 a failure also, cool. Then you've got 2 out of 10 seasons of television so far that aren't up to snuff. And if you consider House of the Dragon season 2, maybe 3 out of 10. That's still 7 great seasons of television.
Some of the best as well.
Yeah, exactly. The first 4 seasons of Thrones are 4 of the greatest seasons of television ever made. I'm going to give them the benefit of the doubt. This universe, the benefit of the doubt, that is. I want to see it. I want it explored. And that's what I think is so exciting about A Night of the Seven Kingdoms, is that it's clearly taking the opportunity to open the world up tonally. It's not trapping itself in the hour-long prestige drama, which is not a bad place to trap yourself, don't get me wrong. I love what we've gotten, Thrones and House of the Dragon wise. But I do think that this world is so vast and there's just so much opportunity. They're talking about animated series, and they're talking about, there's even there's a Game of Thrones stage play now and stuff like that. Like there's tons of stuff and tons of opportunity to explore this world, and you need something to ease us into that. They couldn't have just been and here's a Thrones animated show, they did need something to kind of bridge a gap. And I think that this does a really good job of slowly opening it up. Because again, I think this episode was 40 minutes. I don't think we've ever gotten a Thrones episode that short of anything. And I imagine this would be on the long end. I don't know that for sure, but the opening episode.
6 episodes. That's wild. That is that's so. What a mini, are they calling it a mini series, or is this just?
No, it's confirmed for a second season already.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sweet. That's nice.
According to IMDb, season 2 will be coming in 2027, so a pretty quick turnaround, according to IMDb.
And yeah, I guess this, not to call it easy is a bad thing, but I think making this show is just incredibly
comparatively
easier.
Yes.
You don't the sets they're building or just the level of expectation, for it and everything that entails of just how long it takes to make something like that. I feel like this is something that we definitely could expect every single year and not have the long kind of lag times of waiting for the next season. And
and that's the other thing too, though, is we're dealing with a show that is adapted from what is essentially George R. R. Martin, a novella. It's not a full blown book. It's and it's not a short story either. No, but it's, if I recall correctly, Duncan Egg is roughly 100 pages.
Oh wow. Okay.
It's not a it's not a long book. And so when it comes to the multiple seasons thing, I didn't know that until I just looked into it. It does make me think, maybe the crux of this is the tournament. I can't imagine that's the case. I feel like pacing wise, we're getting there too fast for that to be fulfilling.
Yeah. It looks like there's 3 novellas that have been published for Dunk and Egg so far. There's The Hedge Knight,
which is what this is probably based off of.
And then that was in 98 that he published that. And then he had 2 more, one in 03 and one in 2010.
Gotcha.
I guess so.
I imagine that's the trajectory then. It's probably 3 seasons of television based on the 3 novellas. Okay, I didn't know that. See, that's why I'm like, when it comes to our knowledge of A Song of Ice and Fire, it is incredibly TV based. I don't want to lead anyone astray in thinking that we know what's coming or we have an idea based on books, anything like that, because we don't. That's what's fun. We like to keep the shows fresh, and then I like to go back and read after I've watched it.
Yeah, and that's all the Googling I will do. I don't want to know like the events even of the book.
No, absolutely not.
They could be different, but I'd rather.
When it came to Fire and Blood and House of the Dragon, like all Fire and Blood is events. It's basically a historical recounting. Yeah. It's not even a narrative being spun. So it's just one of those things where like I don't want to know the big beats. I want to see how you do it, and then I'll go back and read Fire and Blood eventually. But
this feels like it doesn't really concern itself with like the grander kind of story. Like this feels kind of like Skeleton Crew to me, a little bit like Star Wars, where it's
stands
just kind
alone, pretty singular.
We're having fun. It's more cute. It's not, still a little dark at points. It's meant for but could somehow be like meant. I mean, obviously Skeleton Crew is meant for kids. It's Star Wars, but like I think here this show could actually be much more.
This is baby's first Thrones audience. One day. Yeah.
So
now again, still probably 14.
Not quite there.
Not baby's first Thrones, but young adolescent first Thrones. I like it a lot. And it's also timeline wise trapped in a capacity, because we're during the reign of the Targaryens. We know we're during the reign of the Targaryens. It's not like the Hedge Knight's gonna rise up and become the fucking king.
King.
There's certain things that, as far as impacting the grandest narrative, it literally cannot do, which is what makes the small stories, again, there's so much history and there's so much that happens in this world over the course of all these years, even during the Targaryens' reign, that it's more than worth telling. And I think that there's a lot of fun potential for, little lords who rise to, a certain status, and, they find their way at the right hand of the king instead of being the king, that's the kind of story that I think we have a lot of potential to tell. That doesn't have to be like, and you are the true heir to the Iron Throne. Like, no, we've done that. We can have some fun elsewhere now. And I think that this is a good first step in that direction.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm all in. Like, I think the only worries or kind of shaky things I have is just how like the general Thrones fan base will accept it. I feel like it's kind of
it's been pretty well received thus far.
That's good. That's good.
It's got a. Apparently, critic-wise, it has the highest rating on Rotten Tomatoes of any first season of any Thrones. Game of Thrones Season 1, House of the Dragon Season 1. A Night of the Seven Kingdoms has the highest rated on Rotten Tomatoes, which is interesting. The IMDb rating, which has not been bombarded by review bombs because it is led by white men, is 8.3 out of 10, which is pretty high. Again, it's not led by a woman or person of color, thereby it will not be review bombed. Or it doesn't involve queerdom yet.
Well, I think we the Baratheon.
There's some spice there. They've got chemistry.
There's
chemistry. I was 100% like me and Emily were just talking about this last night, and it's so funny considering. I don't know how still how limited representation is on TV generally. I watch so much stuff and assume people aren't straight.
Mm-hmm.
And then the second they go, this person is attracted to someone of the opposite sex, I go, oh,
yeah.
okay, cool. I'm like, didn't read you that way. And it's so funny to like project that onto everybody because there's so little, the representation on screen while growing is still quite limited. But no, Lionel Baratheon immediately picked up some zest. There's some deep looking in the eyes of Sir Dunk, to be sure. But
I swear he says something about like, we're gonna have some fun tonight. He says something straight or something like, whatever. But then he's like, all right, guys too. I feel like there was something in there maybe where he was kind of like, oh, and men don't think you're out of the question or something.
Right,
like
right.
But maybe I was
a
just
little
actually,
bit of an Oberyn, maybe a little bit of an Oberyn figure.
He's just
Bicon. God, I love Oberyn.
I don't think we'll ever hit that again. I don't think.
No. But Lionel, I'm a big Lionel guy. I'm a big Lionel Baratheon guy for now.
True.
Thrones is a dangerous place to cast your vote alongside somebody so early. Sometimes they're like, yep, and then they're gonna show that he, I don't know, does something absolutely heinous that, you learn what you learn, and that's that. So, for now, big fan of Lionel Baratheon, big fan of A Knight of the Seven Kingdoms. I'm excited for the second episode tonight, and we'll be covering it in our next episode of Geek With Me. But, you got any last thoughts before we move on to the next segment here?
I don't think so. Just that I am actually looking forward to the episode. Like, it is one that it doesn't feel like just like, oh, it's Thrones, I have to watch it. Not that it's ever been in that zone, but this is no, I am actually eager for it.
I am too. A certain franchise that has reached that sort of status is Star Wars. It's the new Star Wars. I guess I'm going to watch it. And don't get me wrong, I'm not too terribly disappointed with anything Star Wars. But, there were a few seasons of television in a row there where I was like, okay, if Andor season 2 wasn't coming soon, I'd be out. Which makes the follow up to Andor season 2 a pretty important step in the road. I believe it is the next thing after Andor season 2 is Maul, the Shadow Lord. Obviously, we did get visions, but I view that as a separate thing entirely. It is still Star Wars, but it's not, it's not a part of this canon, as it were. We got the trailer for Maul Shadow Lord. We're going to continue down this Clone Wars era style animation. We are, post Revenge of the Sith, pre A New Hope, pretty treaded upon territory. But I am excited. I like Maul a lot. We've never had anything besides the Acolyte, which centers on the Sith. And I love Sam Witwer's portrayal of Maul. Again, the animation style, while I think it'd be nice to go ahead and switch things up, is good. There's no doubt about it. I really, really love the way this animation style looks. I just invite a little change. How'd you feel about the trailer here?
Yeah, it's I think Maul is he's just such a cool character.
Pretty safe bet. Yeah.
It is going to be sick no matter what. And Sam Witwer, just his love for the franchise and everything. I'm kind of all in with that. And then it would have been nice to have a little more stylized, to Maul specific.
It's just a perfect character to stylize.
So I guess it maybe. Not that I'm disappointed off the bat, because like whenever he does start swinging his blade and like it has that like curve kind of to it, it's like I don't know. I think it does. It's looking good.
No, it looks great. I'm never going to complain about the Clone Wars animation style aesthetically. I really enjoy it, especially the point it's reached. And again, Bad Batch just concluded. Bad Batch came fresh off the tail end of season 7 of the Clone Wars. The Bad Batch happened. The Bad Batch ends. We get Maul again in this animation style. I think it's probably fair to assume, especially given the news that Kathleen Kennedy is stepping down from her role as president of Lucasfilm, and Dave Filoni stepping up into the creative capacity while someone else is stepping into the business side of things.
Yeah.
That will probably continue to deal with this era pretty reliably. For better or worse, that's probably going to be the case because that's where Filoni got his start. That's what Filoni obviously loves to do. And I'm excited for this. You know, Brad Rao is set to be the showrunner. And Brad Rao had a very, very heavy hand in the Bad Batch, which we loved.
Okay. Nice.
So that's always good. Again, Sam Witwer involved. That's always good. And like you said, Maul's just an interesting character and an interesting time for the character, coming off of, you know, the fall of the Jedi. What does a guy who's dedicated himself to ending the Jedi do when they're gone? It got compared by a creative as, what does Joker do if Batman's dead? Which is a really, really great prospect and something that in Star Wars I'm really excited to dabble with. And you know, we get little allusions to maybe a potential, you know, the canon version of Darth Talon could be coming into play. The Twi'lek apprentice of Maul.
Okay. Yes, I didn't. Is she in books, or am I just...
Yeah, books, comics, extended universe. Never in the modern Disney canon has Darth Talon been shown, brought up, mentioned, anything like that. But apparently George Lucas's original treatments for what he would have conceptualized as the sequels featured Darth Talon pretty heavily.
That's... I guess the people that I recognized in the trailer were just the Inquisitors that popped up.
Right.
The good old... We got Marok coming back. I think real Marok this time.
Not actually, Green Shadow.
Yeah. I think in the flesh.
Dark Sister.
Could be
Night
cool.
Sister.
Maybe there's a tie-in of Morgan Elsbeth like grabbing his body somehow, or like, you know,
I mean,
bringing him
Maul
back,
is from Dathomir, and that's where the Night Sisters are from, and that's where Morgan Elsbeth is from. Like it all tracks.
I'm ready for maybe something there. But then the I don't know, there was a Mandalorian, and man, it looked like Sabine, or there was like someone in Mandalorian armor, and then there was someone like from behind that looked Sabine, but I don't think that she would be like super young right now. Like
she would be super young timeline wise. She would be a kid. Like an actual kid, not the kid that she is in Rebels.
Because her family is like actually like the Wren family. Like her mother was
important on Mandalore. Right? Yeah, important on Mandalore for sure. Yeah. And that there is a lot of really cool stuff that we can do here, because last we saw Maul in the Clone Wars was him being arrested and transported after basically instigating the Mandalorian Civil War, another Mandalorian Civil War, I should say.
Oh yeah, he's got the Darksaber right now. Wait,
like he does right not. Wait,
I think. Yeah, wait, because it's just chilling on Dathomir until Ezra finds it in Rebels, right? Like Maul gets it.
That's right. And then, yes, Maul has it. I guess. I guess technically he would be the one who knows where it's at right now. Not that he's strictly carrying it everywhere.
Okay, I forgot about that. The Darksaber.
Could be cool to see him go back to Dathomir, or go back to Mandalore in some capacity.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Actually, you know, kind of a cool. I didn't think it to have kind of impacts on like the later kind of storylines they're telling, but I think this does kind of could tie a few knots. Cool.
Oh, it could definitely
together.
tie, and that's the other thing too, is it could also just be fan servicey cool, and that's fine too. You know, like we could finally get Maul versus Vader. You know, obviously they were in the same place at the same time in Rebels, but they never actually throw down.
Yep. No,
you know, that's just a fun thing that we could actually bear witness to.
Like not many people know of Palpatine's like whole deal, you know, like that Sith Lord and all, and like I feel like him and Dooku was kind of like, all right, he gave Obi-Wan that one chance, but I feel like Maul will be much more on the active side of like either just trying to kill Palpatine or like trying to, I don't know, I wonder if he like spreads the word, tries to like, hey, by the way, like your emperor is the Sith Lord and all.
Right.
If he like just is open about that, or if it's just kind of nothing to
Well,
him,
I wonder how much, information is power sort of thing. Like, how much does him knowing that, does he feel like he can wield that? There's, the fact that he ran a criminal syndicate during this era, too.
True,
Crimson Dawn is his. So we're probably going to deal with that. Does that leave an opening for Kira to return in some capacity?
It'd be so sick to hear Amelia
That'd be
Clark.
very, very cute. Dryden Voss will probably be involved in some capacity because of the syndicate sort of thing he's got going. There's a lot of eggs and a lot of baskets that Maul deals with. So I think it'd be kind of interesting conceptually that this conceivably could be a relatively long running series. As far as him building up Crimson Dawn, and then that would probably be what they spin another Clone Wars era animation style show out of, is probably a Kira thing. Now that's pure speculation and doesn't factor in anything that could happen in Maul, just based off of broad strokes, the grand scope of things that we know. Solo takes place 10 years after Revenge of the Sith, 10 years before A New Hope. That's when we see Maul, and that's the last time we see Maul canonically, timeline-wise, until his death, basically, in Rebels.
Okay. Yeah, we got his later year. Well, I guess, I don't know what he's really doing in between.
That's the thing, is that, like, that's why I'm like, I think that him being abandoned on that fucking, the Sith planet, what was it called in Rebels, where they find him underground, under the giant fucking...
where the battle... the battle station
I can't remember
is.
What it was called. Yeah, the battle station, that's what they referred to it as, but I can't remember what the planet was.
Malachor.
Malachor, yes, Malachor. Like, so there's a big gap where we saw him at the end of Solo be like, "Come to me, Kira, let's train," and then he's on Malachor, an old man, been abandoned, and like that's what he like. There's a giant gap there, and there's a giant gap between Clone Wars and Solo. Like there's a lot of Maul story there, and I know a lot of people are really bad faith. Oh, why do we have to keep doing stuff with people we know? Da, 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 da. I don't give a fuck, man. We're doing a bunch of stuff with people we're never going to know. The next Star Wars movie that's not Mandalorian and Grogu is Starfighter, which is the Ryan Gosling movie with no old characters in it. That is a completely original thing. And for better or worse, I don't like Sean Levy, but at least there is that. Like, that is on the horizon, that is in production, that is getting made, and that will be hitting theaters in 2027. Like, that's cool, So as far as the business side of things, removing ourselves from the Maul Shadow Lord strictly, there's, when it comes to Filoni's capability of getting stuff done, that is the most interesting part of him taking over as the creative head of Lucasfilm officially in the executive producer slot, basically. Because Kathleen Kennedy was a fucking legend. For better or worse, whether you liked her or not, what she did was she has producer credits going back to Raiders of the Lost Ark.
Oh, damn. Yeah, when was her takeover originally for Disney?
She was the head of Lucasfilm for the entire tenure that Star Wars, or that Disney has owned Lucasfilm. I don't think she wasn't the head of Lucasfilm before that, but she was very, very important in Lucasfilm. She has producer credits going back to Raiders of the Lost Ark. that's a ridiculously long history in the film industry, and a ridiculously important history in the film industry. Like, she's had her hands on tons of great stuff. And for someone with that sort of industry cachet to still struggle to get stuff made and to get stuff off the ground, it really does concern me when it comes to Filoni being the person who is succeeding that, a person with practically no industry cachet.
It's just a whole different ball game completely. Like, I think no one doubts like Filoni's just universe knowledge or
he loves Star Wars
for Star Wars, and like if he was, Star Wars used to be okay, George did it, now let's we're coming back for 3 new movies with a huge gap in between, and then the next 3 didn't come with another big gap. It's like to make 3 movies, but now we're making shows, we're making movies that all have to tie together and all this stuff, and we saw how I think Kevin Feige on a much more volume, larger volume scale with Marvel, how like the weeds, I don't know, it just kind of got muddied very quickly there. And
I think Disney generally, as a parent company, has already kind of assessed that is clearly not working. And also, I've talked about this, I don't know how many times. Maybe I'm not smart enough to understand it. I don't understand how you could possibly profit from the streaming format.
Yeah.
The amount of money you're pumping into your product, especially at such a high volume. Like, these $15 subscriptions. I can't imagine. And like, I don't understand how you can gauge what's driving subscriptions. I'm sure there's some stats that can indicate a certain way, but there's no way it's foolproof. So regardless, like, the fact that in the last year or so, we have only gotten Andor Season 2, and we have only gotten Visions Volume, what is it, 2 or 3? Volume 3. And we're going to be getting Maul months and months after both of those things. And it's going to release at the same time as The Mandalorian and Grogu. Like, obviously that is even more than a Star Wars fan 15 years ago can comprehend. But that is relatively quite a slow output compared to 3 or 4 years ago. When it was Mando, Book of Boba Fett, Clone Wars Season 7, like all the stuff that was hitting from that 2021 to 2023 gap. It was a lot. And it was a lot fast. And so Marvel was doing the same thing. It was the launch of Disney Plus, and Disney Plus really hitting its stride as far as feeling like it found its home. Like, yeah, we're doing something here. And then it all got so muddy. And that's where I'm curious about what impact Dave Filoni can really have as a creative. I want the stories to be, because nothing's being canned right now. Nothing's been like, oh, that's on indefinite pause. The only thing that is on indefinite pause that's kind of been like, we're going to hold off on that, is the culmination movie of the Mandoverse. The movie that was like, this'll wrap it up. And my baseless speculation is that Filoni's going to go fucking nuts with that time period and build up to it even more. I think we might, and for the life of me, I can't understand why they haven't already. And if they don't do it anytime soon, they obviously never will. But if you are so desperate to not recast the original trio of Star Wars characters, why on earth are you not making an animated series post Return of the Jedi? Why on earth are you not making an animated series post Return of the Jedi? that is the format to tell those stories. If you are afraid to recast Luke, if you're afraid to recast Leia, if you're afraid that for some reason Alden Ehrenreich's recasting as Han Solo was the thing that didn't work, which is idiotic. Go ahead and animate it. Like, people still want those stories. You know, obviously there's a big faction of people who are like, let's move on. And I don't disagree with that, but I just think that with the volume that they have been putting stuff out, I think there's room for both. And as far as stories within this timeline that exists that I want the most, it is those 3 modernly in an animated format. I want to see them in that Clone Wars style narrative, not animation. I would like a new animation style, but like maybe an anthology series post Return of the Jedi, you know, and then you build that up. Maybe you earn enough respect and excitement for those characters that you're comfortable recasting them, and then they can be in your Heir to the Empire movie, which he inevitably almost certainly wants to get made.
Yeah. I think that at least with the Ahsoka and where everything is pointing, you know, in Mando, I mean, there's some other galaxy thing going on, you know. They got plans for something big.
I forgot about that.
Yeah. So I mean, there is so much that is kind of going on that I don't really. It could be anything. It could just be something completely brand, like, I mean, just unheard of in the Star Wars universe. I don't know. Or Mortis, you know, it seems is pretty heavily involved. So like, I feel like a way to please, like, what is the Robert Downey Jr. of this universe? You know, I think it's Hayden Christensen as Anakin Skywalker.
Yeah.
And if there's any way that you can bring him back,
as Obi. Yeah.
Yeah. But like bringing him back as prime Anakin and as a Mortis god is kind of like, that is bringing Robert Downey Jr. back as Doctor Doom, is kind of like the equivalent business move, I feel like now. And I don't know how much, you know, I don't think that's not what I want, Star Wars. That's not where I want to go. But I feel like a business move that could make sense, and something that could actually make sense with the story they're setting up. You know, we did see him in Ahsoka for a little bit, and
we saw him in Obi-Wan Kenobi a little bit. Yeah.
There's he is coming back and popping up in past and new stuff.
Well, and I love, see, I'm of two minds, because obviously I want to move on. I don't really want anything else Clone Wars era. I'm done. I'm good. We've done it. You know what I'm saying? Like, Attack of the Clones, the entire Clone Wars series, and Revenge of the Sith is more than enough covering that period of time. Specifically the Clone War. And then the post Revenge of the Sith, pre New Hope timeline is getting there for me. I'm like, obviously that's 20 years. There's a lot of time there. I'm sure there's plenty of stories to tell, but man, how many are there left that are that worth telling? Yeah. And again, it depends on the creatives involved, all that good stuff. But the other part of me hears Ewan McGregor and Hayden Christensen go, God, I would love to wear the Clone Wars armor. I would love to go do a live action Clone Wars series. That'd be so much fun. And like, there's part of me that wants these actors who were not well received when those movies came out to kind of get to live out the fantasy of being the stars of Star Wars that they thought they were going to be. Like that's just cool. And, you know, so there's a couple sides, and obviously like that's the nostalgia side of me. That's, you know, and there's an argument to be made that it could even not be coming from a genuine place for them. It could just be like, God, can you imagine the fucking paycheck I'd get for that?
Yeah.
Because they would get a fucking paycheck for that.
Yeah. I think the two most likely to make like a cameo appearance in something upcoming is just one of them too. And yeah, I mean, like where I really want like the cameo to come from is for like Cal Kestis to finally get his on-screen kind of debut and him roped in somehow. And I don't know, like with Filoni, I feel like the only thing, or not only thing, but one of my main worries with him is like how attached he is to the Mando and Grogu, like part of the world right now, and then how if he chooses to not really go elsewhere. Like I think.
Well, and that. Sorry, go ahead. I'll let you finish. I
No.
apologize.
I mean, I think he seems to be more likely to go like High Republic or like just anywhere else than like other people.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know, but I think in this very moment in time, I feel like he has like he's building up to something, and maybe he gives it to Favreau, and you know he just does everything else on the side, or I don't know how much he's gonna be babying that one thing. I guess
no, it is a weird spot for it to be in because, like I said, I think there's room for both where, you know, he can lock in on this thing and then we can have these other creatives try to explore the bounds beyond it. You know, like Simon Kinberg's post Episode 9 trilogy and, you know, the Dawn of the Jedi James Mangold thing, which genuinely never going to happen.
Yeah,
like just won't.
So many empty promises.
There's just so much, especially with those are the sorts of things that whenever it comes to Kathleen Kennedy stepping away, I just don't have a lot of faith in. Like specifically, like big name director James Mangold doing something 25,000 years in the past, brand new original Star Wars movie. Feel like that loses a lot of industry cachet the second Kathleen Kennedy steps away from that. But you know, it is what it is. But another part of this is that if he wants to lock in on something, maybe Star Wars could benefit from that. You know, like maybe Star Wars could benefit from going, okay, all we're doing is this for a little bit, because that's all Star Wars has ever done until the last few years. You know what I'm saying? Star Wars has always been, okay, this trilogy, that trilogy. And then, you know, we got to the sequel era and they're like, we're going to splice a couple other movies in. We're going to give you Rogue One. We're going to give you Solo. And then it was like Mandalorian,
Boom.
Ahsoka, and like all of that's like post Episode 6, but then it was like Obi-Wan, Andor, Bad Batch, Acolyte. And again, I love a lot of that stuff. Don't get me wrong. Like, in fact, there's nothing there that I really dislike. The only thing that I've had a tough time with getting into is Ahsoka. It's the only thing I've had a tough time getting into. And again, pretty tough thing to not be wanting to get into when Dave Filoni is the guy on Ahsoka. So my thing is that if he wants to lock in on something, and it is that post Episode 6 timeline, and we do build to a movie, cool. You know, like, that's fine. We're at such a congested place where that Daisy Ridley movie, I really want that. I really want the Rey movie. I desperately want Daisy Ridley back because I love Daisy Ridley and I love the character of Rey, and I would love to see her in that capacity. But there's also talk that Simon Kinberg trilogy, the fourth trilogy that would come after Episode 9, would include Rey, but she would not be a main character. She would be an elder. You know, she would be a Ben Kenobi. She would be a Yoda. She would be that type of figure. Yeah. How those things coexist at roughly the same time, I'm not sure.
Man.
So that's where I'm like, there's just so much happening all at once that obviously stuff is going to fall through the cracks. And my concern is that one of my favorite characters, like Rey, will suffer for it. And then we'll end up dogpiling this era of Ahsoka and Thrawn and Mando and all of that, when Mandalorian probably should have ended after 2 seasons.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, Mandalorian probably should have ended after 2 seasons. Ahsoka it's fun in concept. I had a tough time with execution. I like the idea, though, and I want to give it another shot. I have given it a second shot, and didn't finish it. I want to give it a third shot, and I want to like that show more than I do, and I find something about it inaccessible, but there's so much that I like going on there.
Yeah,
I don't know. It's just a complicated place to be right now for Star Wars, and I don't see Filoni as the creative who's going to uncomplicate it. You know?
Yeah, and at least maybe like Ahsoka, with him being really, really at the helm of that and seeing how it turned out. Maybe this is the kind of best case scenario for Filoni to not be actually making the show, or like
Right.
like trusting other
Overseeing
creatives
it, yeah.
to do like put some more talent in there, and so hopefully, maybe he has to like hand over Ahsoka.
God,
to
I would
someone.
love I like Bryce Dallas Howard doing Ahsoka. Let's fucking go. Rick
Ooh.
Famuyiwa doing Ahsoka.
Yeah.
Let's fucking go.
Oh,
Like,
yeah.
there's just so many, and this sucks because I really, really, really like Filoni when he's on. When he's on, there is very few people who get Star Wars like that.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like he's a really great, again, very similar to George Lucas in that he's got great concepts and great stories in his head, but he's not a particularly good director. He's not a particularly good director. And I would argue that, again, very similar to George, he's not a particularly good writer. He's good at story, and ideas. Like that's where he lives. And so he is a true child of George Lucas in that regard. And therefore, maybe he'll earn a little bit of cachet that way, like maybe there is kind of like they're welcoming him in as sort of a second coming of sorts. And hopefully that doesn't inflate his ego too much, if it hasn't already, because he's obviously been compared to George Lucas on an unbelievable amount and is nowhere, I say that he is nowhere near as good as George Lucas. And George Lucas, this is blasphemy, is massively overrated.
Yeah. I mean, he is not a Spielberg. He is not a
incredible creative. I love George Lucas's
Mm-hmm.
philosophy on I love his creativity. I love his story. I love the general mind that man has. But yeah, the prequels are the prequels, and he directed all of them. You know what I'm saying? Like, again, great in concept, great overarching stuff going on. I love thinking about the prequels. I love parts of them. Man, if you edit that thing down into one movie, I'm sure there's something really good there. You know what I'm saying?
It's the most editable, and editable in the sense of, an edit.
Like TikTok.
A TikTok edit. It is by far the most editable, I feel like, of the trilogies.
It's a tragedy, and it's a really, really great tragedy. Like the descent of Anakin Skywalker is an incredible story, and it is a wonderful story to watch unfold. Just could have been done a lot better. And so that's where I'm like, Filoni, I don't think he's done anything on even close to that level yet. So I've just got to see something more before I fully trust him. But here's the thing. Star Wars has already been in a shaky place, which is why I'm like, I also don't think much is going to change because Filoni takes over. You know what I'm saying? Like, it already exists in this era where stuff has a tough time getting off the ground, stuff has a tough time getting made. Okay, so stuff continues to have a tough time getting off the ground. Stuff continues to have a tough time getting made. Then that's just the way things are with Star Wars, and it is what it is. Maybe we see one day, like, I love that Kathleen Kennedy, and what I imagine recontextualized was a purposeful effort, got a couple movies lined up for the next couple years. It was like 2026, 2027. We're in the theater. We are back. I'm going to step away and hope you can keep it going after that. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's... Yeah. I'm always going to have an immense respect for Kathleen Kennedy. I always really, really enjoyed her presence. I thought she was a great producer. Here's the thing. Besides the original trilogy, all of my favorite stuff was under Kathleen Kennedy.
Yeah.
All of it.
Yeah,
every single piece of it. So
people love to put her under the the flame and just kind of take everything bad out of it, but like she like there's always kind of, I feel like, this excuse that people had during the Disney era of like, oh well, it's not really Dave Filoni's fault. It's because Kathleen Kennedy's actually the one making the decision.
No more of that.
Back, whatever.
There's more of that.
There isn't. Yeah, this is like a true test now. Like there's if it's still to the same quality that it was before, or things aren't like changing, which generally in a better way.
Like, and that's the thing too, is that like you'd think that. What I'm saying, I'm generally displeased with Star Wars. No, they haven't put out a thing I don't like. You know, Ahsoka is the only thing that I have a tough time with. I've had a great time with everything else. And it's strange that Ahsoka isn't working for me, but it is because I think it's steeped in that era. It's steeped in that Clone Wars era where I think I've had enough of it. And then it's set in an era where I'm kind of over it. Where I'm like, I don't even really know why we're still doing stuff here. If it's not the original trilogy characters animated. Like, I don't know. And maybe that's nitpicky. Maybe that's, you know, just the fan in me not getting what I want. That's why but I don't know. I like Mando seasons 1 and 2. I like Skeleton Crew. I like Skeleton Crew a lot. I loved The Acolyte. I loved The Acolyte. I really wish that could have gotten off the ground, but, alas.
Yep. Yeah, I was finally going to get Plagueis, you know, or some...
We were heading that way. Chimera was just such an incredible addition.
God damn. And we're not getting that, yeah. So, I mean, that's sad. You know, I feel... I hope it's never, like, I hope it's... Maybe The Acolyte Season 2 will never happen, but I don't think that means that, like, they don't. No,
those characters aren't done. I'm sure novels will explore it and all that good stuff. I'm sure we'll get back around to it.
He's in the hot seat now, though. You know, there is none of that. But there's no barrier. There's no Kathleen Kennedy.
Well, you know how much stuff was being taken in on bad faith because it was Kathleen Kennedy at the helm. You know, you know how much is Filoni at the head going to cause a certain side of the fandom to go, everything's great again.
True.
You know, like
just the lens, the immediate.
Like, because all of it was bad faith anyway. You know, none of it was ever legitimate. There are legit critiques for the state of Star Wars, but none of them come from the people who hated Kathleen Kennedy.
Like, is Shadow or Maul? Is this like it was made and everything while Kathleen Kennedy was still president? You know,
yeah, technically she was probably the executive producer of that. She'll be the executive producer of that. She'll be the executive producer of Mandalorian and Grogu. She'll be the executive producer of Starfighter.
Yeah, it's gonna be funny if people are like, "Oh, look how much better the Filoni era already is." Like with Maul, watch Maul just be.
I'm sure
they
will. And it's gonna be like, well, you're.
Well,
that's the thing. You can't talk to these motherfuckers. You can't talk to these motherfuckers. You can't give them breath. Because there's nothing's good enough for them, and there's not an ounce of self-awareness. It's all hypocrisy. It's incredible. It's an incredible thing to watch.
That's what I'm saying. They need prime Anakin Skywalker as Hayden Christensen. That's the only thing that will please
Mortis God, Hayden
crowd.
Christensen.
Yes. Put him as a Mortis God, and boom, you got everyone back. I mean, it's
instantly forgiven by the general audience. Yeah. But yeah, man, I don't have much else on the current state of Star Wars, and I'm excited. This is my most excited part of the episode was the Oscar nominations, and we've already spent more time on the other stuff than I thought we would. So I'm real ready. Let's talk some Oscar nominations. Big year. Ended up shaking out to be a much more interesting year than I thought it was going to. Sinners breaking the record for the most Oscar nominations of all time with 16. That's a big accomplishment. Love that movie. I think it's well deserving of all of the praise it's getting. Then coming in second there, nominations wise, One Battle After Another with 13, and then we have both Marty Supreme and Frankenstein clinching 9 apiece. It's pretty sick, pretty good looking year. Best Picture nominees, a fascinating slate and a pretty solid slate. You know, I enjoyed a great deal. Begonia. Loved that. Yorgos Lanthimos, Emma Stone, Jesse Plemons. Gotta love it. Frankenstein. We covered that on The Sentimentalist as our New Year's movie. Big fan of that. Would love to see it succeed. Hamnet, that's my personal favorite of last year. Loved Hamnet. I love Chloe Zhao. Love Paul Mescal. Jessie Buckley ought to win best lead actress. Marty Supreme, loved that. One Battle After Another. The Secret Agent, haven't seen it, unfortunately. Haven't had access, but look forward to seeing it as soon as I can. Same thing goes for Sentimental Value, which is looking to sweep shit up. Like that's apparently a picture to beat, from what I'm understanding. Train Dreams, which I also loved. And then the, you know what? Sure. They're patting it on the head and they're going, "You're in, buddy. You're good." F1.
Yeah. I mean.
Yeah. That's a fucking throwaway. That is a throwaway nomination. Yeah. I wasted spot, but hey, if you like it, you like it. It is what it is. And I liked it. I enjoyed F1 a great deal. Of the 60 movies I saw in 2025, I have it ranked at 27th or something like that, though. So the Academy being like, that's a Best Picture nom blows me away. But they have one of those every year. Last year it was Wicked. Year before that it was Barbie.
I wonder if it's just their way of trying to get Brad Pitt into the building. If there's we can't give an actual nomination to Brad Pitt for anything. But Best Picture, maybe he shows up,
Yep, he is a producer. He is a producer, okay. So, that's who the Best Picture Oscar is given to, is the producers of the film. So, there is that.
Crazy.
But,
that'd be the most political move
will
of
not
all
win.
time. That would be actually insane.
No, and that's the thing, is that beyond that, which will not happen, by the way, F1 will not win the Best Picture Oscar. If for no other reason, the fact that there are, Sinners, 16 nominations, One Battle After Another, 13 nominations, Frankenstein, 9 nominations, Marty Supreme, 9 nominations, all nominated in the same category, while F1, I believe, has 4, along with Begonia and Hamnet. And the F1 nominations are technical. It's sound editing, visual effects, Oh, shoot. There was something else.
Film editing.
And editing. That's right. Yeah. That's right. Editing. Which, again, all 3 of those, I don't have beef with. Those are all pretty fair nominations. It does have incredible sound. The visual effects are really, really well done. It is a really well edited movie, but you're kidding yourself if you think it's one of the top 10 best movies that came out last year.
Yeah. There's still a whole lot on the list that I definitely have to get to. There's a lot of homework.
I've seen 8 of the 10. I just haven't seen The Secret Agent, and I haven't seen Sentimental Value.
I think I'm only at 2, that's great. I've only seen Sinners and Frankenstein so far. I haven't even seen
got some work to do.
It's been.
A lot of these are readily available. Begonia is on Peacock. F1 is on Apple TV. Frankenstein, of course, on Netflix, along with Train Dreams. One Battle After Another is on HBO. But beyond that, I do believe that none of these have hit streaming yet. They may be available on your, digital services for rent. But even then, they're like the $20 rentals and stuff like that right now. They haven't been brought down yet. And Sentimental Value, along with The Secret Agent, they carry with them some performance nods. Wagner Moura is nominated for Best Actor for The Secret Agent. And you would have seen him in Civil War, actually. He was the gentleman, the dude that rolled with them, not Kirsten Dunst or Kaylee Spaney. He was the hot guy that rolled with them.
Why was I thinking fucking
Stephen McKinley
Marvel.
Henderson?
I was thinking Marvel Civil War, Captain America.
Oh,
and I was like,
no,
what? I'm like,
no.
Oh, wait, my
the A24,
yes.
A24 Civil War. He's the guy from Captain America Civil War. Pick one.
Yes, I was like, huh? Oh, okay, but no, I see. I got him now.
Yeah, that guy. He got nominated for Best Actor.
Oh,
yes,
yeah,
Narcos
he's
also.
good.
Yeah.
Oh, he's
very great actor. I can't wait to watch The Secret Agent. Just haven't had a chance to. And then Sentimental Value has a nomination in Best Actress, It has a nomination in Best Supporting Actor for Stellan Skarsgård. Dub. Let's fucking go.
Okay.
And then 2 nominations in Best Supporting Actress. So, all 4 of their main performers got nominated in that movie, which indicates to me that it's a pretty damn good movie. And it got nominated for Best Director, and I believe it got nominated for Best Original Screenplay.
Okay.
Yes, it did. So
to pull me in. I mean,
Stellan is more than enough to pull you in, but on top of that, Elle Fanning is in it. Elle Fanning, little sister of Dakota Fanning, earned her first Oscar nomination for that movie in the Best Supporting Actress category. A lot of first-timers here. We've got Michael B. Jordan clinching a first-time nomination for Sinners in the Best Actor category. The Best Supporting Actor category, Delroy Lindo. Let's fucking go. We love to see that. Again, for Sinners there. There was a couple here that I was just so pleased to see got in, and it was mostly Delroy Lindo in Best Supporting Actor and Wunmi Masaku for Sinners as well.
Oh man, if Jacob Elordi wasn't there for Frankenstein, I don't know. Well, I haven't seen Benicio del Toro yet.
That's the thing, dude. Is what's crazy is that what it looks like is that Jacob Elordi and Delroy Lindo are probably the bottom 2 in that category.
Damn.
Like that's a stacked category, and Stellan Skarsgård has been eating at the award season so far, so I wouldn't be surprised to see him pull it out. Damn. But Sean Penn, I think, is kind of not the sleeper, but I liked Benicio del Toro a lot more in One Battle After Another. He's a more likable character, but there's a performance Sean Penn is doing that's just absurd. Like he's doing an incredible job. So that's a really stacked category. Best Supporting Actress is also really, really stacked. Obviously 2 sentimental value performances, which I can't attest to, but I can the other 3. Teyana Taylor is also nominated for One Battle After Another. I would love to see her or Wunmi Masaku win. Amy Madigan is nominated for Weapons. She plays Gladys.
Yeah. Wow.
Very interesting nomination.
Wow. That I would not have expected a nom out of.
No,
out of
it's definitely
at all. Let alone
that's the one nomination it got from that movie.
Wow.
It is. I think it's a good sign that maybe the Academy is broadening its horizons a bit and being more open to this genre generally. It's notoriously shut horror out. It's not, it doesn't respect horror in any regard. And Weapons worked for a lot of people, a lot more than it did for me.
Yeah. Yeah, it was
and
a very
Amy
popular
Madigan
movie, I guess. Yeah,
it was a very, very popular movie. And Amy Madigan won, I believe, the Golden Globe for Best Supporting Actress.
What?
Yeah, like she, I just kind of an interesting, I can't really wrap my mind around it, but go off queen, thing I've got going for Amy Madigan.
Wow.
And maybe maybe the Academy has kind of cooked my biases in a way where maybe subconsciously I don't value horror on the level that I should, but maybe I need to rewatch the movie, but I don't really know what's elevating that performance in a lot of people's eyes.
Yeah.
She does a great job, don't get me wrong. It's not like she's bad in it, but I think it's just a really interesting choice, especially in a category like, again, haven't seen Sentimental Value, and I'm never going to speak about I will never speak about snubs without having specific reference for what I would replace. You know, I think it's kind of hollow to go, this person was snubbed, and then not explain why or how you would fix it. And for me, Amy Madigan would not have entered Best Supporting Actress over Naomi Ackie for the movie Sorry Baby, a movie that was generally snubbed, very, very snubbed across the board, in my opinion, and that is something that I'll speak to a little bit more. I loved Naomi Ackie. I think she should have gotten some love. I thought for sure Best Original Screenplay. I convinced myself that somehow Sorry Baby was going to sneak into that category. However, that's a category I've only seen 2 movies in, and I can't tell you it deserved to be in there over Marty Supreme or Sinners. So, depending on what Blue Moon, it was just an accident and sentimental value bring to me, to be determined in that regard. But then going back up to Best Picture, F1, fuck F1, get out of here. Sorry Baby absolutely should have been here. Sorry Baby should have been here. I would have liked to see Die My Love over F1. It wasn't going to. That's not a surprise. If you're looking for the blockbuster that you want to slot in for Best Picture, there, give me Avatar 3. Give me Fire and Ash. I don't care.
Oh yeah, wow. How many noms did that get?
Limited there.
2?
I believe it's only Best Visual Effects and maybe
costume. Wow,
and costume is weird, by the way. No idea what we're talking about there.
Isn't it all digital? Like
yeah, mostly. Then you have like the random suits that like the breathing masks and stuff.
Okay.
That's a bad costume nod, in my opinion.
Yeah, that's a, like visual effects. I totally get without even seeing the movie.
It's an Avatar movie. Yeah. Of course, it's going to be nominated for best visual effects, and it's going to be deserving of that. At that, it's it's a weird year for costume design. That I like. I'm not like, oh, give it to the. If you're gonna go with a popular movie again, I don't see why we're not going Superman or something there, like
damn. Yeah. Oh, man.
like
no noms at all for Superman?
No, yeah, nothing for Superman, which is unsurprising. I didn't expect it to. That's not something I wanted. But, another movie that got shut out completely, no nominations, was Wicked for Good.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Which is interesting, given the Academy's obsession with the first Wicked, and I don't really view the movies as different at all. So it makes me compelled by the fact that they were so loving of it last year and didn't and shut it out completely this year. But that was a spot it probably could have slotted in, was best costumes. I mean, maybe best production design, definitely best makeup and hairstyling. There were 2 original songs. Nothing got in there. I'm fascinated by that. And again, that's not necessarily me saying that they were snubbed. I'm just interested in the fact that the Academy would so overwhelmingly love Wicked last year and then completely shut out its sequel. That's just fascinating.
I Lied to You to win, though. I mean, I saw that music.
I would love to see I Lied to You.
Man, I played the song immediately. You sent me the text of like the noms are out, and I was like scrolling down. I saw I Lied to You, and I said, "Oh!" I just instantly had to play it, and then I had the vision of like the acceptance of the award on stage.
Me.
Oh, dude, it'd be incredible.
Well, and if the tradition continues, I believe it was started last year, all these songs will be performed at the ceremony.
Oh, that's awesome. So it's guaranteed. Like every
I'm pretty sure you'll see it. I think it was. No, I think every those are the musical breaks.
Oh, that's cool.
Are the performances of the best original song category. And I think that was started last year. Maybe I'm making that up. I don't feel like I am. But cool. I would love if it's not, I'm giving them a free fucking idea. That's an incredible idea.
Yeah, like that. Come on, why not? And then get a real fan vote during the show, like American Idol style. Yeah, call in
American
for your
Idol.
favorite performance.
Text 888-1515. Yeah. Yeah, it's that's a stacked category too. I think that I Lied to You should win. My favorite category is best score. I think they fucking nailed that. There's only one movie that I'm like, ooh, hard to not include, and it's Marty Supreme. But best score has Begonia by Jerskin Fendrix, Frankenstein by Alexander Desplat, Hamnet by Max Richter, One Battle After Another by Johnny Greenwood, and Sinners by Ludwig Göransson. Those are my 5 favorite scores of the year. So like, the only one that I'm like, maybe Marty Supreme should have slipped in over One Battle After Another, but that feels like fucking heresy to say out loud. But even then, Daniel Lopatin, the guy who did Marty Supreme, did an incredible job. That's why I'm like, that's just an unreasonably stacked category where I can't tell you something deserved it more than any of those 5. And another case of a weird year where I'm okay with any of those. You know, in previous years, I've been staunchly, I want this to succeed. I want this to succeed. And I want Sinners to succeed. And I'm curious to see how much the Academy, I wonder if the Academy is going to be proven to be, I don't know, hollow again or pandering almost, being like, I wonder what percentage of the 16 Sinners walks away with.
Yeah. That's, I mean, already such an achievement just to get the noms anyways, but...
100%.
Yeah.
100%. But I could definitely see the Academy going, and that's, but that's the height of your achievement here. Like, because Best Actor, Michael B. Jordan, in my opinion, and I've been over this before, I don't quite get it on the level other people do. I think he's a solid actor. I think he's done a lot of really good work, and I think Sinners is amongst his very best. Don't get me wrong; he is very, very, very good in Sinners. But I don't think there's any chance he wins that. I don't think there's any chance he wins that. I think Timothée Chalamet or Leonardo DiCaprio have a better chance, and those are the only other 2 in the category that I've seen. As Ethan Hawke also clinched a nom for Blue Moon. We love Ethan Hawke, so cool. But I also think he's probably going to be an easy, not a winner. And then Wagner Moura, I think it'd be cool to see him win just because of the moment specifically that we're having as a country and as a place on Earth. I think it'd be pretty cool for someone who's not American to win that award, and specifically someone who is Brazilian or South American would be pretty cool to see give an acceptance speech on that scale.
Yeah, it's gonna be interesting to hear. I don't know. These acceptance speeches, I feel like they have a different weight.
Should be the time, but we'll see. Timothée Chalamet, I think this is the year he finally does it. I think he wins for Marty Supreme. He's really, really exceedingly good in that.
Man, that's crazy. His first win will come by beating Leonardo DiCaprio and Ethan Hawke.
Yeah.
Like that. That's kind of
that's nuts. A welcome to the fucking show moment right there, man. Like that's and he's been nominated before, but I don't think he's ever. I think it is genuinely his best performance for my money. He's that good in it. Best Actress is another stacked category, but again, I've only seen 2 of them. Emma Stone, of course. If she's doing a Yorgos Lanthimos movie, she's getting nominated for Best Actress. She got in for Begonia, and she's incredible in it. And then the other one that I've seen, and the one that I would give the award to if it was up to me, is Jessie Buckley in Hamnet. She does an incredible job, but a few other interesting ones. Renette Rensiv is the sentimental value one. Again, haven't seen it, but the other 2, Kate Hudson in Song Sung Blue, a genuine what the fuck moment for me. I didn't think that this movie was on the radar of the Academy at all. Every time I watched the trailer, I was like, that's your mom's favorite movie of the year.
It's
like that movie. Was,
yes.
Yeah, I was, 100%. And then Kate Hudson gets in there, and I'm like, okay, guess I gotta watch Song Sung Blue. I didn't plan on it, but here we are. And then Rose Byrne earned a nod for If I Had Legs, I'd Kick You. I love Rose Byrne, and I always have loved Rose Byrne. I don't know that she's ever been an Oscar nominee. I'd be interested in that. Yeah, If I Had Legs, I'd Kick You, which is a movie I heard very little about, and I'm excited to check out. So for me, that category would go to Jessie Buckley as well. But when it comes to Best Actress, that was already like kind of one of the reasons I could see someone like Kate Hudson sneaking in, is because it was, compared to previous years, a relatively thin category. Like for me, Jennifer Lawrence in Die My Love easily clears. It for me was probably even better than Emma Stone in Begonia. I thought she was incredible in Die My Love. So that's one of those things where I'm like, I'll be interested if I watch specifically Song Sung Blue and feel like, oh yeah, Kate Hudson did better than Jennifer Lawrence in Die My Love, but we'll see. Let's see. Best Adapted Screenplay, another really great category here. Train Dreams, One Battle After Another, Hamnet, Frankenstein, Begonia. Seen all of those. Hamnet, again, was my favorite of the year, so, tough to tell you that I think it should go to anything else, but again,
Hamnet
another category.
Is that a name? Like a last name?
It's a name, it's a name of a character. So Hamnet is about William Shakespeare's family. Paul Mescal plays William Shakespeare.
Ooh, wow! I was gonna say it sounded Shakespearean, but I didn't know if it was. And
and frankly, for me,
overall,
as much as I love Delroy Lindo, Paul Mescal in Hamnet was there was a case to be made for him in the best supporting actor category. Hamnet is about and obviously there's a lot of mystery surrounding Shakespeare as a figure anyway. Like there's conspiracies that he wasn't even just one guy, like that there were multiple people who wrote under the pen name William Shakespeare and stuff like that. Like there's a lot of crazy conspiracies about the life of William Shakespeare. But this takes it at pretty face value. It's like it was one guy. He was a tortured artist. He left home a lot and traveled to London to work on his theater. So the movie, the reason Jessie Buckley is nominated for Best Lead, and I say that Paul Mescal as Shakespeare could be Best Supporting, is because the movie is about his wife. It's about his wife and raising their kids. And Hamnet is the name of their son and is the inspiration for his infamous play Hamlet.
Okay, Okay, I knew I wasn't. I'm like, it's so
no,
close
you're not
to
tripping.
It,
There's something right there. Yes. And I don't want to spoil anything about that if you are completely unfamiliar with the story of Hamlet. It's that movie is fucking unbelievable. I was a puddle of tears by the end of it. Hamnet is just gold. So as far as best adapted screenplay, I don't know that screenplay is strictly its greatest strength. I could see that going to One Battle After Another. I could see that going to Begonia. But again, a category where I'm super happy no matter where it goes. Original screenplay for me between Marty Supreme and Sinners, that's a toss up. I haven't seen the other three. I haven't seen Blue Moon. It was just an accident, or Sentimental Value. So we'll see there. I've seen one of the animated feature nominees.
Oh yeah. I always forget that's a category.
It's Arco, Elio, K-pop Demon Hunters, which is the one I've seen. Little Amelie or the Character of Rain, and Zootopia 2.
Zootopia, man, okay, wow. Yeah, I haven't even
I liked K-pop Demon Hunters.
I haven't seen.
I don't have any other thoughts on that category.
That. I mean, it took.
It was a big deal.
World,
it was a big deal.
Like for a moment.
Oh yeah, huge deal. I don't have any other thoughts on that category, and likely never will. And that's not because animation is invalid. No, I will watch Arco. I will watch Little Amelie or the Character of Rain. I doubt I ever make it around to Zootopia 2, and I have very little interest in Elio.
Yeah,
I'm tired of like the Pixar animation style for me is just so tired. Like we got to shift something. We got to shake something up. I can't keep doing it.
Yeah, it's been in the works for quite a while. I mean, I thought, I don't know, like Lightyear, I guess that's kind of like, I thought they were going down like, oh, we're gonna change it up. It's gonna be different.
Nope.
And everything, and then it's like, no, it's the same. It's just their...
No, then they did, like Turning Red and Luca and Soul and, like those are three movies I really, really enjoy. But they're all the same animation style roughly. And then we just keep doing this. And I'm getting like, again, similar to the Star Wars conversation we were having. Let's fucking shake it up, please. Let's do something else. Best international feature. Haven't seen any of them, which I am very excited by. I can't wait to check them out. The Secret Agent, Best Picture nominee. It was just an accident, one that everyone is arguing probably should have been over F1. Sentimental Value, again, haven't seen and is a Best Picture nominee. Surat, haven't seen. Really want to. And the voice of Hind Rajab. Gonna check them all out. Going to. That's a guarantee. Best casting, Hamnet, Marty Supreme, One Battle After Another, The Secret Agent, and Sinners. Hard to assume this won't go to One Battle After Another or Sinners. I mean, you look at the top of the cast list for One Battle After Another, and you have Leo, Sean Penn, Benicio del Toro, Teyana Taylor, Regina Hall. That's a tough top five. Sinners, though, that's about as big an argument as you can make. Michael B. Jordan, Delroy Lindo, Wunmi Masako, Haley Steinfeld. Like there's some players in that. So I'd be interested by that one. We'll see how it goes. Again, not one that I'm particularly like passionate about. Cinematography, though, this is an interesting category.
Yeah.
And again, one I think they nailed. Frankenstein, Marty Supreme,
Nice.
One Battle After Another, Sinners, and Train Dreams.
Good. Okay, I was like making sure Frankenstein and Sinners are in there. Sinners for
Yes,
sure. I
yes,
feel like
they
I
are.
knew was like, okay. I was very glad to hear Frankenstein thrown in there. But
I think this one, I think this is where the Academy is going to give Train Dreams its love.
Okay. Wow.
Dude, that movie is fucking beautiful. And if it does nothing else, it looks incredible. Like that's, I think, and again, I think that the Academy is either about balance or it's just like everything's going to this movie. It's always one or the other, you know, like and so I think this ends up being a year with a lot of balance. And I think where Train Dreams was nominated for Best Adapted Screenplay and it was nominated for a few other things, I don't think it wins, and I think it wins cinematography. That's kind of where my money's at. And again, a category where I would not be upset with any of them. So that's what's kind of making me like, I'm super happy about it, obviously. But I also, it's a year where I'm not passionate enough about any of the single films to be like, God, I hope you win all of it. You know what I'm saying? Like I like a lot of them a lot. And thereby I'm going to be entertained and happy with whoever wins. There are just a few where I'm like, absolutely not. And one of those is costume design, Avatar, Fire and Ash. But the other nominees there are Frankenstein, Hamnet, Marty Supreme, Sinners. Any of those can win and I'd be fine. Best film editing, F1, Marty Supreme, One Battle After Another, Sinners, Sentimental Value. Again, any of those can win and I'll be fine. I think it should be One Battle After Another. That movie is so well edited. And there's an argument to be made for Marty Supreme there as well. Makeup and hairstyling. If it's not Frankenstein, what are we doing?
Yeah, I'd agree there. That one that they should win for sure. I mean, they were stunning. And then Frankenstein, the monster itself, looking, I mean, perfect. But I mean, just every other costume was on point too.
Yeah, that's where I'm like, if that should take, for me, that would probably take home costumes and makeup. The other nominees for makeup, I've only seen Sinners, so that's an important note too. There's another one called Kokuho. Have not had the pleasure of watching that. The Smashing Machine, that's the Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson and Safdie brothers movie, where he's all done up. Yeah. And The Ugly Stepsister is the other one, along with Sinners.
Okay.
So haven't watched those, except for Sinners and Frankenstein. And frankly, I'd be cool with either. But Frankenstein, I think, in that category, deserves the edge over Sinners. Best production design, again, interesting category. Frankenstein, Hamnet, Marty Supreme, One Battle After Another, Sinners. Fucking anywhere, anything goes. And that's a popular lineup, by the way, of nominations. Frankenstein, Hamnet, Marty Supreme, One Battle After Another, and Sinners. I think there's 2 categories, maybe 3 categories where that's the exact lineup. Cinematography is 4 of those 5. Casting is 4 of those 5. Yeah, all of those are nominated for screenplay one way or the other, I think. That's a crazy lineup. But I'll top this off here with director.
Oh, yeah. I can't believe I haven't.
We've got, again, Sentimental Value. which I have not seen yet, cannot speak to. But again, it's gotten so much love from people I trust that I'm very confident I'll watch it and love it. Now we'll see, of course, but the other ones are Hamnet, Chloe Zhao, Marty Supreme, Josh Safdie, One Battle After Another, Paul Thomas Anderson, and Sinners, Ryan Coogler. Fucking give it to whoever you want, man. I'm so down anywhere there. I think PTA is probably going to be the winner, and that's the thing that concerns me about Sinners' chances in the 16 nominations. Is that there's just, when it stacks up compared to everything individually, I do kind of end up leaning towards something else in those technical aspects. Now, again, I would never be upset if Sinners won. Like, it is well worth it. But I do love that we're in a year where Best Picture-wise, I think it's a race between One Battle After Another, Sinners, Marty Supreme, really. And I love all of those movies. And then if Hamnet happens to sneak in there, fucking A, let's go. But, like, I think Begonia, F1, and Train Dreams are our only surefire. There's no way. As far as what I've seen. I think that while I like those movies a lot, there's just too much competition here. And again, haven't seen Sentimental Value, haven't seen Secret Agent. Sentimental Value could come out of nowhere and end up entering that conversation for me, but I haven't seen enough about The Secret Agent. That's kind of been one that people haven't talked about at all discourse-wise when it comes to that one getting into Best Picture. So yeah.
I remember whenever Sinners just came out, it was like easily my favorite of the year, and I'm like, oh, well, this is winning everything if this is all that there is. And then I'm like, I don't know, man, there's a lot of weight that has to be pulled to make up for it, and then we just kind of the movies did land. They
back half of the year really, really came up big, and like to the point where whenever I was thinking about the Wicked versus Wicked for Good thing and how Wicked got nominated for so much and Wicked for Good got nominated for literally nothing,
damn,
I was like, was this year that much better than last year? And off the top of my head, I was like, no fucking way. I was like, there's no way 2025 was better than 2024. Like, I just can't fathom that. But then I looked at the top of my list for 2024, and I was like, you know what? 2025 may have ended up edging it out. It really might have. I think that there's just a lot to like at the very top of the list. And there's a lot more depth. Like, my favorite movies go all the way down to like the almost 30 for 2025 versus 2024, which I kind of, lose steam on at about the 20 mark, like, or maybe even higher, like 17, 18.
Yeah, I'm looking like at the previous year's just Best Picture noms, and then like seeing last year's compared to this year. I just haven't seen a lot of this year, so but I think that this year seems that I will end up liking more of them already than last year. But then I go back to 2024, and it's like, oh my god, it's just a different ball game like back then. And then you just go back another year, and they just get better and better. It's crazy how we were eating and like
we were eating. 2022 was ridiculous. 2023 was ridiculous. 2023 is fucking absurd. Like, looking back at that lineup of Best Picture nominees, and it being like Oppenheimer, Killers of the Flower Moon, Past Lives, Poor Things, American Fiction. Hold on, give me the loot. I'm gonna get there. Yeah.
Oh. Killers. Okay.
Barbie was there.
Yep.
Let's see. Did I already say American Fiction?
You did. Yes.
Okay.
I believe so. But yes.
Shit. I'm losing steam. Nope. That's 2022. Now I'm thinking of 2022s. All right, give me the last four.
Did you say Holdovers?
No, I did not. Okay. God, what a fucking great year. Holy shit.
Yeah. Anatomy of a Fall. I don't think.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
And then, did you say Zone of Interest?
No, I did not. Holy shit.
And or you said Past Lives, Maestro
I did say
as well. For
Maestro.
I think is
Okay,
the
that's
last
the
one.
one I would have forgotten. Yeah, that's the one I would have forgotten.
Yeah, that's
okay.
which that's like the easy kind of low of the category, but every other movie is
and
like,
that's an
holy
absurd. I mean,
shit.
2022 was absurd too. Everything, Everywhere, All at Once, Banshees of Inisherin, Tar. There was Avatar. There was just so much to like, and I feel like my passion for the very top of the list was a lot greater. 2022 and 2023.
Yes, yeah.
Where I felt like 2022 and 2023 gave me some of my favorite movies ever, and then this year gave me a few movies that I really, really, really like. You know what I'm saying? So it's same with last year. Just a really interesting couple of years for the movies. And I'm excited. I'm excited because we're going to be doing our own award show, where my snubs and everything will get in on the Cinementalists. That'll be the week before the Oscars. We're talking about March 9th. I believe Monday, March 9th is when we'll be doing the Cinementalists Movie Awards. Very excited for that. All the same categories, not all of them. We're not going to hit as many, but I also like to expand the pool. We're going to go 6 nominations instead of 5. Maintaining the 10 in the Best Picture category, just because I like to show a little more love. So that'll be on the Cinementalists, where currently we are wrapping up a month of romance this Friday with Moonstruck, and then we're hitting some essentials for Black History Month in February: Dry Long So, Poetic Justice, Do the Right Thing, and Nickel Boys. Speaking of Best Picture nominees from last year, that was fucking peak. So we got that to look forward to on the Cinementalists. Fire Pod With Me, our Twin Peaks podcast, is coming to a close next week. The penultimate episode comes out tomorrow, if I'm not mistaken, which is crazy.
Wow.
We're almost there, and it's been a pleasure. If you've never seen Twin Peaks, you got to check it out. And then we've got a podcast for you. Joseph has never seen it, and we watched it all together. All for the first time for him, rewatch for me, and it was just so much fun to talk about week after week for nearly a year, so you got to check that out. And Geek With Me will be back semi-weekly, if not weekly, for the extent of Night of the Seven Kingdoms. We want to keep up with that. We want to talk about that, and we'll find some more stuff to talk about along the way as well. This week was a lot of news-based stuff, but we want to open it up to maybe more segment-based, random stuff. I want to get back to the essence a little bit and have some fun. And we'll find a way to do that. So keep up with us week after week for the extent of A Night of the Seven Kingdoms. And then we will inevitably cover Maul, Shadow Lord. So you got that to look forward to as well. So Supergirls this summer. Like there's a lot. There's a lot on the horizon that we are excited to talk about. And you'll get it all from us here on Geek With Me. So with that, I was Colton Robertson. I was joined by Joseph George. Thank you very much, homie.
Oh, thank you for having me. It's always a pleasure to be here, homie.
Oh, and it's always a pleasure to have you. Remember, fuck ice.